Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Karin McCarthy, host of Vermont Collaborative Circle and the Pivot and Thrive community. We're dedicated to making Vermont the place where businesses and families thrive, and we create learning, networking, showcase, and market opportunities for small businesses across Vermont. We are gathering today remotely on Abenaki land, and I want to acknowledge the Abenaki people as the past, present, and future caretakers of the land, the Dawn Land, Vermont, that we love. And we are recording today, so please, we ask that you keep yourselves muted. And if you have questions, we'll be able to ask them or answer them at the end of the call. We're excited to have Jen Peterson guiding us today in a yoga workshop focused on unlocking our tech neck. We've all been Zooming for almost a year now. And so the opportunity to do so with intention and align our body in a way that supports mobility and great functioning is just really a gift. So thank you so much, Jen, for offering this workshop. If you haven't had the opportunity, Jen was on our Pivot and Thrive interview series last week, and you can catch her interview on YouTube, and I hope you'll check it out. She has a fantastic story to share about how she transitioned her business in the pandemic and created opportunities for growth. And also she talks about social justice and how having a strong sense of self-awareness can help us to show up better in community. So without further ado, Jen, thank you so much for leading us today, and welcome.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today or watching the recording later if you don't make it to the live thing. So I'm here to hopefully give you some support around having some residual effects in your body from being in front of a computer a lot of the time, right? So that tech neck, as it's come to be affectionately called. So what I wanted to do and what I have done is come up with a series of poses that I'll take you through and movements. And I want you to just be aware that you should just pay attention to how they feel in your body, and you can do one of them or you can do all of them. It's not required that you have to kind of memorize the whole sequence, right? So each of them has benefit in and of themselves. So just noticing what feels like you might find some relief and or release from, but then of course doing the whole sequence will hopefully really help you unlock your potential freedom of movement, right? So the assumption is that you're joining me from a seated position. So most of the positions will be seated. There's a couple that I want to offer you that are standing, and then there's one floor pose that's really great for helping to give you some awareness of the upper back. And so it's not required that you do it with me today. You don't have to do any of it with me today, obviously, but you can keep it in the back of your mind to try when you have a different space to be in if you are not able to get on the floor while we do this today. So I will talk sort of to heighten awareness of what's happening in the body as we go through the poses, but we'll be doing mostly poses for the next 50 minutes or so, 45 minutes or so, and then there'll be a little bit of time at the end to check in and offer you an opportunity to come to my classes, and Karen wants to say some closing words. So to start, because it's really important to recognize that there is this sort of chronic sitting that we do, right? And then the results of that sort of in our physical structure, but connecting sort of constantly through technology and sort of being a little bit dysregulated in our nervous systems and sort of in that more in a fight, flight, freeze mode and less time in the rest and digest mode creates physical tension in our bodies as well, right? So we'll do that mind-body connection work as we go through this as well, and starting with a centering exercise in the beginning and then a sort of resting exercise at the end, where I'll take you through a guided sort of somatic mental experience as well. So the theory behind the poses that we're doing today is that when we're sitting, so I'm going to demonstrate this, right? A lot of times our computer is a little bit down from us. And when we're sitting, we also tend not to pay a lot of attention to keeping our shoulder girdle above our hips. So we can have a rounded position a lot, including to the neck, right? So that tech neck, I think, is kind of where that's coming from, is sort of having our necks chronically extended in the back and tucked, right? So when we do that over and over as a repeated pattern, what's happening is these muscles in the upper back and the neck are lengthening, and they're staying lengthened. And when they're stretched but not contracted, right, then the strength there leaves, right? And then the front of the body is having contraction, and so they're getting tightened down, and the back muscles are getting stretched out. So keeping a sort of more balanced posture becomes more work, right? So then we tend to sort of slope into this even more, even when we're not sitting in front of our computers. So what we're going to do is work on creating some length here and also contracting in the back, right? And so bringing some balance back into the way that we're holding and moving our muscles, right? So it's about strengthening, but also creating some stretching in the front as well. All right, so let's start with the grounding practice. So what I want you to do is to find a comfortable seat for yourself. Place both feet on the floor, right? And you can rest your hands wherever it feels good to rest your hands, either in your lap or on your legs. If you have arms on your chair, that's fine too. It might be helpful not to have arms on your chair if you're going to be doing these poses with me, because we'll be doing a little bit of sweeping arms out to the side, or if you can open them out. Okay, so feet on the floor, and then I want you to bring your attention to your seat and that connection of your physical body with the seat that you're on. And feel that pressure, mostly through those two sit bones. Those sit bones are the bottom parts of your pelvis, two pointy parts that you feel pressing into the seat. Right, so start by becoming aware of that neuromuscular signal to the brain of where those sit bones are and that sensation of pressure there. And then broaden your awareness out to your whole physical structure. So just taking in sensations, right? So again, listening to the signals to the brain of different parts of your body. How does your neck feel right now? And you can have your eyes closed or open. Sometimes when we close them, it can feel easier to tune inward versus getting distracted outward. But if you don't want to close your eyes, just leave your eyes fixed somewhere. Maybe out in front of you, or maybe straight ahead, so you're not dipping your chin down. Right, so again, tuning in. How do the feet feel? The legs, the torso, the arms, the neck, the head. Where's your body talking to you? And then maybe where it's a little quieter or feeling hidden, but it's harder to get those signals. Also notice your state of mind. Where are your thoughts today? What's your energy level? Where's your spirit? And then I'm going to invite you to bring your attention down to the bottom of your spine, to the bone that's known as the sacrum, right? So that's the bone that the lumbar spine sits on and comes off of, and then it's also attaching the two sides of the pelvis. So again, listening for that neuromuscular signal to the brain of that part of your body. So it's not just imagining, it's waiting to connect with that. And then we're going to walk up the spine. So I want you to start to bring your attention, again, listening for those signals to the lumbar spine, which is the first set of vertebrae or vertebral bodies coming off of the sacrum. They're big. There's 5 of them. They're snug together. They have a little bit of cushioning between each vertebra. There is a little disc, right, that helps cushion and create spring and movement. But these are snug together, right? They're the stabilizing parts of the spine. The whole spine is designed to be stabilizing and spacious. There's that balance between the two, but these are designed to be more of the stabilizers. And then we get up to almost midway to the back, and we come to the thoracic spine, right? And there's 12 of those vertebral bodies, and they're smaller, and they have a little bit more range of motion, so you can move side to side a lot more easily in this part of your spine. So just walking up that with your attention, you'll find yourself between your shoulder blades eventually, and then heading up towards the base of the neck. And just take a moment to feel your shoulder girdle, right? So feel your shoulder blades, your scapula, feel your collarbones, right? Your clavicles. Feel that place where the arm bones sit in the arm socket and hang down from there. And then bring your attention to the base of your neck again, and we'll go up the cervical spine. And there's 7 of those vertebral bodies. So just slowly walking up those. They're the smallest, and they're designed to have the most range of motion in all the directions. Right? This is the part of the body that's tuned in and closer to the brain, and the brain is always checking around, right? Needs to be able to move around quickly to stay safe. Coming up to the base of the skull. So I want you to reflect back down through the whole spine with your awareness and feel the curves of the spine. I want to do a little bit of work to build your awareness around the connection between the breath and the spine, because that's really integral to the style of yoga that I'm going to share with you today. So I want you to bring your attention to the tip of your nose now, and to just gradually and gently deepen your breath. And as you do so, I want you to begin to notice how the breath mobilizes the spine and the rib cage. So as we inhale, if you're inhaling slowly because we're deepening and lengthening the breath, you'll feel that rib cage expand horizontally and then begin to float up away from the pelvis. Right? So take a couple of breaths just noticing that inhale. And that action of the inhale on the spine, the upper back flattens a little bit. And when we exhale, we go back more into that primary curve that thoracic spine has. I want you to, on your next inhale, just gently add a little intentional lift to the sternum. So lifting the sternum a little bit more away from the front of the navel. So being mindful that we're not jutting the ribs forward, right? We're lifting the sternum, which is where the rib cage comes together in front, up. So that enhances that flattening of the upper back. And it's just gentle. None of this is like really big engagement. So now on the exhale, as you begin your next exhale, I want you to think about engaging the abdominal muscles to just gently lift the pubic bone up towards the navel, and then the navel, and engage up from the navel up to the solar plexus. And again, this is gentle. I'm not trying to encourage you to get six-pack abs or do any Pilates move. When you inhale, slowly release from the solar plexus to the navel and the navel down to the pubic bone. So what we're doing, if you notice as you do this, so take a couple breaths to do that, is we are building awareness and creating some more movement in that pelvic lumbar area, right? So where the hips and the low back come together, which when we sit a lot can get contracted in the front and extended in the back, right? So we're creating more movement there. We're creating that contraction, stretching action by doing that. So when you exhale and you draw up in the front of your abdomen, you'll notice the sit bones press down a little bit more, right? You'll also notice the sit bones press down, and then there's a little bit of a stretch in that low back. It rounds a little bit. So this helps increase the stability and health of that pelvic lumbar region, right? Which is really our main fulcrum, right? So even though we're focusing on the shoulders and the neck with a lot of the movement today, I want you to continue to practice that just gentle engagement of the abdominal muscles through these poses on the exhale, and that super, super gentle lifting of the sternum. Okay. So now, if your eyes are closed, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes, and we'll begin some more significant or gross movement. That was really subtle, right? Okay. So not gross like, ugh, but gross like bigger, more obvious. Okay, so I want you to look straight forward and have your eyes be open. And I want you to inhale in, do your inhale, feel the horizontal and then vertical lifting. A little bit of lift in the sternum. On your exhale, slowly following your gaze, turn your head to the right. Keeping it sort of eye level, straight ahead to the right, and then inhale, come back to face forward. Follow with your gaze, right? Exhale, turning the head, turning the gaze, slowly turn your head to the left. So it's starting to feel a stretch on the sides of the neck. Inhale, come back to face forward. Really simple stuff. But when we pay attention, you can really feel the stretch. Exhale to the right. And then inhale back to face forward. And exhale to the left. And inhale back to face forward. This time when you exhale, I want you to drop your chin towards your chest and feel the back of the neck stretch. So really tucking that chin in, and then inhale, bring your head back to face forward. And then on your exhale, lift your chin. Not drop your head back, but lift your chin so you really feel the stretch in the front of the neck. And then inhale, come back to face forward. Exhale, drop the chin again, stretching the back of the neck. Inhale, back to face forward. Exhale, lift the chin. And inhale, back to face forward. Okay, just noticing how you feel. Place your hands across your heart and have your right hand on top. Okay, and tuck your chin in like you're looking down at your hands. On your inhale, your next inhale, I want you to open that right arm out to the right as you turn your head to the left and look up. Right, so we're increasing the stretch into the sides of the neck. Exhale, bring the hand back to the chest, bring the head to face forward and tuck the chin in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, opening, And looking up, taking the arm out to the side, maybe a little back behind you. Find the stretch that feels okay for you. Exhale, bring the hand back, tuck the chin in. One more, inhale, open up. And exhale, bring the hand back and tuck the chin in, right? And then switch the left hand to be on top now, keeping the chin tucked in. When you're ready to take your next inhale, so follow your breath pace. The movement follows the breath. Inhale, open the arm out to the right and turn your head to the left and look up. And exhale, bring the hand back to the heart and tuck the chin. Inhale, open the arm up. Turn the head and look up in the opposite direction. Exhale, bring the hand back, tuck the chin in. Let's do one more. Inhale, opening up, feel that stretch. And then exhale, bring the hand back, bring the head to face forward and tuck the chin in. Okay, lower the hands. Notice how that felt if you're feeling a little bit of opening around the front, around the neck. Okay, so now I'm going to invite you to turn your head to the right and bring your arms down by your sides. Okay, on your inhale, you'll bring your right arm forward and up and over your head as your head comes to face forward. And then on your exhale, lower the right arm and turn your head to the left. Right, so really easy things you can do in your chair at your office. Inhale, the left arm comes forward and up and over your head as the head turns to face forward. And exhale, lowering that left arm, turning the head to the right again. Feeling the stretch around the shoulders and the neck. Inhale, head comes to face forward as the right arm comes up and overhead. And then exhale, take the right arm down and gently turn your head to the left. Inhale, bring your left arm forward and up and over your head as you bring your head to center. And then exhale, slowly lowering that arm and slowly turning your head to the right. Great. This time on your inhale, as you bring your head forward, take both arms up and over your head. Lifting that sternum up, feel that lift away from the pelvis. Exhale, bring the arms down. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, the arms up and overhead. And exhale, bring the arms down. Okay. Arms stay by your sides. We're going to do a more externally rotated arm movement as we raise our arms overhead. So again, really simple. Inhale. As you start your inhale, start to rotate your humerus in your shoulder socket and then begin to raise your arms up and over your head. Finishing that movement at the top of your inhale. Exhale, bring the arms down. Feel the arm rotate back because the palms are going to face each other at the end of the exhale and at the end of the inhale. Inhale, but you're rotating the arms open so then the hands face forward as they turn and rotate to face towards each other again. Feel that nice stretch in the spine and the rib cage. Exhale, lowering the arms. One more time, inhale up. And exhale down. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make that happen a little bit more. So you're going to fold forward a little bit in your chair. So I want you to come maybe a little bit forward in your seat so that feels comfortable to do. You want to make sure your ankles are right under your hips and bring your arms down by your sides again. So on your inhale, again, do that external rotation of the humerus and the arm socket. Raise the arms up and overhead, lifting that sternum. Exhale, fold forward, sweep the arms back behind you. Rest the palms on your low back, face up and tuck your chin in. Inhale, now you're gonna externally rotate the shoulders again. Feel the shoulder blades come together as you do this and raising the arms up and overhead. Move at your breath pace if my breath pace is too slow. Exhale, folding forward, then the arms internally rotate, right?
The sternum comes closer to the navel on the exhale, and then inhale, you're lifting your sternum away from the navel as you rotate your arms, reaching them up over your head. Let's do one more. Exhale, fold forward. Feel those shoulder blades move apart. Inhale, starting to adduct, bringing the shoulder blades together, rotating the arms, nice big lift. And this time just exhale and lower the arms down.
Okay, and again, notice how things are feeling in the shoulders and the neck, maybe a little more space, I hope. And then we'll stand up, and you can stand behind your chair, or you can just stand. You don't need your chair, but it's there for you if there's any sort of sense of lack of balance, you want to feel safe. Okay, arms are by your sides. Just take a moment to feel this shift, right? Now your weight is traveling down through your feet versus through your seat and your feet, right? So your equilibrium has changed, your center of gravity is a little different here. So just tuning into that. So when you're ready to take your next inhale, I want you to raise your right arm overhead and press down through your left heel. Try not to lock into that left knee, but really make it a press down through the heel. And then exhale, bring that right arm down and relax the heel. And then inhale, raise the left arm overhead and press down through the right heel. Feel that cross the body stretch from heel to fingertips. Exhale, bring the arm down, relax the heel. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, raise the right arm overhead, press down through the left heel. Really settle here. So you're feeling a difference on each arm and each side of the upper back. Exhale, bring the arm down, relax the heel. And inhale, raise the left arm overhead, press down through the right heel. And exhale, bring the arm down and relax that heel. Inhale, raise both arms overhead, press down through both heels. So bend the knees a little bit and really push through the heels. Just a little bit of bend in the knees. Exhale, bring the arms down. Right. Inhale, keeping your attention on that sternum lifting away. Feel the shoulder blades come together. And then exhale, lower the arms down. Okay. So now if you do have your chair nearby, I might move away from it or move the chair a little bit. And you want to stay in that feet hip distance apart position, right? And so by feet hip distance apart, I mean feet right under where the leg bone and the hip bone come together, right? So not out here towards the edges of the hips, but right kind of underneath the hips. And then I want you to step your left foot forward, right? And stay with the feet hip distance apart. So stay with that sort of mini train track rails, okay? And then, and you want your back foot pressed firmly. You want to have your shoulder girdle right over your hips. On your inhale, bend into that left knee, raise your arms up to about quarter of and quarter after on a clock and draw them back. Feel those shoulder blades draw together and the chest comes forward. Exhale, bring the arms down and straighten that front knee. Now we're going to add a little bit to that. So inhale, bend into the front knee, raise the arms, draw the arms back. Keep the knee bent, and as you exhale, I want you to bring your hands to opposite shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades apart and tuck your chin in. So feel that upper back round. And then inhale, open the arms back up. Chest comes forward, shoulder blades together, feel that upper back flatten. And exhale, bring the arms down and straighten the front knee. And we'll do that again, and we'll stay for 2 breaths this time. So inhale, bend into the front knee, raise the arms up and out to the side. Stay bent in that front knee. Exhale, bring the hands to opposite shoulders, tuck the chin in. Feel that nice stretch in that upper back. Inhale, opening up, right? So we're strengthening as we do this. Feel the spine get long as you do that inhale. Exhale again, stay bent in that front knee and bring opposite hands to the shoulders, tucking the chin in. Inhale, open back up. Chest forward, arms back. And then exhale, lower the arms and straighten that front leg. And step your feet together. Right, so you can do more of those repetitions, but I just want to give you a flavor of some of the things you can do to start creating that space in the front and that strength in the back. So stepping the opposite foot forward, the right foot forward this time. Again, check that you're on your train track rails. And really what this does is create a stability in your body, because we're not trying to work on balancing right now. We're trying to work on this upper body. So this stabilizes you here. Okay. So let's just go in and out, raising the arms. So bend into the front knee on your inhale, raise the arms up and out to the side and draw them back. And then exhale, come back out. And inhale, bend into the front knee, raise the arms out to the side. Stay here and exhale, bring hands to opposite shoulders, rounding into the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Lengthening the spine, press into that back heel. Exhale, come all the way back out. And now we'll go in and stay in for 2 breaths. Inhale, arms up to quarter of and quarter after out wide. Chest comes forward, sternum lifts. Exhale, draw the belly in, rounding into the upper back. Hands to opposite shoulders, tuck in. Inhale, release that belly engagement, lengthening, arms out wide. Again, exhale, stay here and round into the upper back as you bring hands to opposite shoulders, tuck the chin. Inhale, open out wide. Long back, press into that back heel. Exhale, straighten the front leg and lower the arms. And step the feet together. Noticing how you feel. Want to come back to the chair and do a little forward folding. Right after we do some asymmetrical work, it's good to do symmetrical work, and this is really good for the low back area, right? And we want to build that strength in the low back area after potentially weakening it by this way that we sit chronically, or the chronic sitting. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate this bringing arms out to the side, because I think that can be, it could be a lot to have the arms forward for some backs, including mine some days. And so this is a little bit of a variation for you to try, but no, you can do this with the arms straight forward too. You can practice that as well. So on your arms are by your side, ankles under knees, feet are flat on the floor. Inhale, raising the arms up and overhead. Feel the rib cage expand, the sternum lifts up. Feel that length. Exhale, fold forward. I want you to round into that low back. So let me start that again. So you're up here and you're going to draw that belly in. Remember that pubic bone to navel, navel to solar plexus. As you fold forward, take your arms out to the side. And then on your inhale, I want you to start to release that engagement and draw the shoulder blades together and lift that upper back a little bit. Lift the sternum away from the navel. And then on your exhale, fold all the way forward and bring your hands down to the floor. Let your head drop in. Inhale, lengthen the spine, shoulder blades come together, lift the hands, come back up to that halfway point. Exhale here, round into that low back. Do that belly engagement. Pubic bone to navel, navel to solar plexus. So the back begins to round, tuck the chin in a little bit. Inhale, lengthening the spine, lift the sternum, raise the arms up and overhead, come back up to an upright seat. Let's do that again. Exhale, drawing the belly in, round into that low back. So feel the back rounding as you go down halfway. Arms come out to the side, tuck the chin in. Inhale, lift the sternum away from the belly, draw the shoulder blades together, lengthening, flattening that upper back. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Bring the arms down to the floor, tuck the chin in. Inhale, raise the arms out to the side, lengthen, lifting the sternum away from the navel. Stay here and exhale, draw the belly in. Feel your back rounding, tucking the chin in. And then inhale, coming all the way back up, lifting the arms up, lifting the rib cage up, sternum away from the belly. Exhale the arms down. Okay, me take a breath here. That was a lot of work. All right, a little bit more. Inhale, raise the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forward. So bringing the hands down to the feet. If you can, grab onto the big toes with your fingers, or if you're in your socks, maybe just tuck your hands under your feet. If it's hard for you to reach your feet, grab onto your shins, right? You want some leverage to sort of hold onto. And your chin is tucked in to start. And as you inhale, I want you to do that same work of drawing the sternum away from the navel, drawing the shoulder blades together, flattening that upper back. Exhale, drawing it in, round into the low back, mid back, folding in. One more like that. Inhale, sternum comes away from the navel, shoulder blades draw gently together, lifting the head. Exhale, fold it in. Rounding into that low back, doing that belly engagement. Release the hands and then just slowly, same thing, lift the sternum away. You're doing the same thing, but you're letting your arms loose so that you can come all the way back up into your seat. Okay, and just pause for a moment and notice how you feel. It's work, right? So we're doing a little work. We're definitely building strength, but hopefully that is feeling like there's some freedom that's being created and some resilience. So let's see, let's do a twist. So what I want you to do is to turn to the side of your chair. Again, feet are flat on the floor. And then turn to, so your hips are going to be fixed to the side, right? And so I want you to be turning your torso just gently towards the back of your chair and let your hands gently rest on the back of your chair, right? We're going to work that breath mobilization of the spine and twist at the same time. So when you take your next inhale, think about that expanding of the rib cage, lifting, right, of the sternum. On your exhale, twisting towards the back of the chair. Try not to use just your hands. Try to use the inner twisting muscles of your core, right around that like kidney center area, right? Inhale, releasing that abdominal engagement so you get a little space. Coming out. Don't come out too much. Let your hands hold you sort of levered in, but we're being really gentle with the hands. Exhaling, trying to work that twist from the inside with a little bit of help from the hands. Inhale, come out one more time. Not all the way out, sorry, just gently coming out so you get that space. It's the space that allows you to twist a little bit more if it's there for you today. So looking over your shoulder. So feeling the twist all the way up into the neck. And then inhale, come back to face forward. Okay. Then let's turn to face the other side. I'm going to do this facing with my back to you just so you can see from the back too how this is working, right? So feet are flat on the floor, right? Just try to have the knees parallel so the hips are fixed and then twist. Check back after you twist to make sure the knee on the outside hasn't come forward and see if you can draw that hip back a little bit, right? So you're holding that fixed position of the hips. Inhaling here. Lifting that sternum up, exhale, drawing the belly in so there's a little rounding into the back as you work the twisting of the spine, trying to find that way of twisting from the inside out. A little bit of help from the hands. Inhale, a little bit of unwinding, but not too much. The hands sort of hold you gently in place. Exhale, twisting. So you're twisting the shoulder girdle and the hips are staying fixed, but trying to work it from the torso as much as you're working it from the hands and the arms. Inhale one more time, unwinding slightly, find your space, lift your sternum, exhale, twist. Noticing if that hip is twisting forward too, see if you can keep that fixed back. Inhale, come all the way back out. Exhale, take a nice long sigh out. Okay. I'm going to do two. Oh, what I want to do. There's so much I want to do. Let's do a little bit of symmetry movement after that twisting, right? So hands are on the thighs. On your inhale, lengthen through the spine, lifting the sternum. Draw the shoulder blades together. So a little teeny back bend here. Exhale, think about going into child's pose. So draw that belly and round into that low back as if you're bringing your chest towards your thighs. Let your head relax down, elbows bend so hands stay on the thighs. Inhale, come back up, lengthen through the spine, lifting that sternum up. Draw it back with your hands so you draw those shoulder blades together. Feel that upper back engage. Exhale, rounding into the low back. Start the movement there, right? And draw your chest down towards your thighs, lower your head. Let's do one more. Inhale, back up, lengthening through the spine, lifting the sternum, letting go of that abdominal engagement. Pull back with the hands to draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round into that low back, drawing the belly in, and folding forward towards the thighs. And then just gently inhale back up to an upright seat, not so exaggerated of a back bend this time. Okay. One more pose, and then I want to do a little breath work and a little somatic mind exercise. So this is the one that's on the floor. So if you can come onto the floor with me, great. If you can't, just watch and see if you can imprint this on your mind, because it's a really nice one, especially I would say after you do some of those other ones, when you have a sense of a stronger sense of awareness in this area and a little bit more, hopefully, mobility and freedom. So your feet are on the floor, the knees are bent and comfortably close to your seat. Raise your arms straight up towards the ceiling and interlace your fingers. And I want you to keep your wrists flexed so the backs of the hands are reaching up towards the ceiling. I want you to inhale and let your shoulders relax towards the floor. Keep the hands flat, right? And then on your inhale, I want you to lift the hands up towards the ceiling even more. On your exhale, did I say inhale? I meant exhale. So you're drawing the belly in still, and then inhale, you're slowly releasing that, and you're lowering those shoulders back to the floor, relaxing them there, softening them there. One more like that. This is just the beginning of the pose. It's not totally it. So exhale, lifting the backs of the hands up towards the ceiling, pressing the low back into the floor. So you can feel that shoulder blades moving apart and that spreading out across the upper back, the stretching of those muscles on either side of the spine. Inhale, lowering the shoulders to the floor, release that low back. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to lift our hips and spine up as part of this as well. So leaving the shoulders relaxed on the floor, on your inhale, press into your feet. Slowly lift the hips and then the spine up towards the ceiling. Let your chin come towards your chest so the back of your neck lengthens. Start your exhale and begin to lift the hands up towards the ceiling and then lower the spine back down to the floor. So you really feel that rolling on the vertebral bodies of the thoracic spine here. It's good circulation stimulation. Okay, inhale, lifting the hips and spine up towards the ceiling. Lower the shoulders back down to the floor, relaxing them there. Back of the neck lengthens, pressing up as high as you can. Exhale, begin first by starting to lift the hands, then roll the back down to the floor. It's a little tricky, but once you get it, you'll feel it. It's that just rolling on the upper back. Inhale, lift the hips and the spine again, relaxing the shoulders to the floor, pressing as high as you can. Exhale, lifting the hands up to the ceiling and then rolling down on the thoracic spine and bringing the hips down to the floor. And then releasing the hands, bringing the hands to the floor. a little cramped. Okay, so come back up onto your hands and knees and come to your chair again. Right, so stress causes us to have tension in our body. So one way to relieve stress is to do really simple breath work. So make sure you feel comfortable in your seat. Still want your feet flat on the floor. This is my kitty Lemon. She joins class a lot, especially when I plug my heated rug in, which is not plugged in today. Okay. All right, so if it feels comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to start with about a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. So you count that on your own. You don't want to close your eyes again, just fix your gaze somewhere. 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale. Not right now. And then see if you can increase your inhale and exhale to a 6 counts. 6, second inhale. 6, second exhale. And then leave your inhale at 6 seconds long. And see if you can make your exhale 8 seconds long. So go what feels comfortable to you. If I'm asking you to go beyond what feels like it's not a strain, then just stay where you are. But try again a 6-count inhale and a 8-count exhale. And then holding on to that 6-count inhale, inhale again. And if you can, breathing through the nose. And see if this exhale could be 10 seconds long. So it'll slow down. You might even restrict your throat a little bit to slow it down as well. So 6-count inhale, 10-count exhale. And if you can, just noticing what's happening in your body as you lengthen and deepen the exhale. If you have the capacity, you could even try increasing the exhale to 12 seconds. Let's take maybe 5 more breaths at a 6-count inhale, and a 10 or 12-count exhale. Go at your own counting pace. You can use that action of gently lifting the sternum on the inhale and gently drawing in the abdominal muscles, pubic bone to navel, navel to solar plexus on the exhale. On the inhale, we take a few breaths of holding that engagement and slowly release. Solar plexus to navel, navel to pubic bone, full release at the top of that inhale. And then just go ahead and release your breath. Bring your attention to your physical structure. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel those sit bones. Feel the upper back and the neck. Notice your state of mind. Notice if anything's changed. Sometimes the breath does even more work than all of that movement. Just take a few of your own paced breaths here, kind of resting in this mindful awareness. I want to do a somatic mental exercise. So this exercise is to really, again, build awareness of how much integration and connection there is between the mind and the body that we are often very unconscious of. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to bring to mind a memory of something pretty recent that caused you mild to moderate stress or agitation or worry, and preferably something that was ultimately out of your control. So it could be something that you did, but that, say you forgot something, so you showed up and you forgot your masks, right? There's nothing you could do about that in the moment, or some action of another person that you have no control over, but that for whatever reason that action was agitating or stressful, right? So thinking of that memory, I want you to switch your attention and connect with that memory in your physical structure. So where are you feeling that memory? Has anything started to change in your physical structure? So we're going a little bit back down to the subtle, right? And so it's not a big deal if you can't totally tune in, but just see if you can notice as you continue to sort of have that memory, any changes to sensations in your body. Maybe in the upper back, maybe in the low back, maybe in your gut. Just connecting with that. And now I want to have you mentally connect with the fact that it was out of your control. There was nothing that you could do about it at that moment in time. So what would it feel like to let go of the stress and not worry about it because there's nothing you could do? To let it go. And again, as you imagine that, feel those neuromuscular signals to the brain. But presumably, you'll feel some shift in that idea of letting go of being stressed, of coming back to feeling calm, of releasing yourself of any accountability or responsibility or suffering against what you can't change. Bring yourself back to your body, just generally, your breath. Take a few deep breaths. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel yourself in this room, listening to my voice, being present here in this moment. If your eyes are closed, gently opening your eyes, noticing your space, noticing the colors and the textures, shapes, the light. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you found some help in what I've offered you. It was a lot, but there was different things that I could share. I probably always overshare with this stuff, but I'm happy to take any questions. I know Karen wants to say a few things. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more about this particular part of the body, the upper back, in my class tonight. And I want to offer anybody who's watching this the opportunity to join a class of mine for free. So if you go to my website, which is yogagracevt.com, and sign up for a gentle class, a yin class, or a breathwork class, and use the promo code THRIVE Yoga, all one word, it'll let you take the class for free. So you can do that anytime. I'd love to have you join if you want to get into this a little bit more deeply. Tonight will be a little bit more on the floor too. So love to see you there. Thanks again for joining me.
What was the name of that again, Jen?
Thrive Yoga. The code?
Yeah.
Thrive, like THRIVE Yoga. One word.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you glitched there.
Oh,
No, it's not your fault.
Of course, in that moment where you're giving the secret of your promo code, it froze for a moment.
right.
Jen, I want to thank you so much for sharing that time and space with us. It's so easy to be busy in our day-to-day and to forget our body as a primary component to our well-being and the way that we're able to engage with the world. So thank you for inviting us to do that work. And it was beautiful. You described it as work that allows for freedom and resilience. And I didn't realize how tense I had been leading up to this. And so just to use those micro movements and intentional breath to create space and connection was a gift. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. If you're interested, as I said, Jen had an interview in our Pivot and Thrive series. I hope that you'll check it out. She has a fantastic story, and I hope you'll watch it. We also have a number of other events coming up. On Thursday at noon, we have a workshop with Farine Paris-Meyer of All Heart Inspirations, who is giving a workshop on sharing your story, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm really, really excited to connect a greater audience with her work and help everyone to share their story more effectively. I'm excited for that. On Thursday morning at 9, we have a workshop, or sorry, not a workshop, a meeting. Community members who are interested in putting as a practitioner or service provider or vendor of wellness related products. We'd love to include your work. So please be in touch about and join us on Thursday at 9. Next week on Tuesday, Rachel Fitch is leading a workshop on resilience. And so continue the work on self-practice and care and how we show up in the world and how we can create strength in those little choices and intention in the way that we show up in our work. And next week we have on Thursday an interview with Janice Rank of Frog Hollow Farms, talking about her Pivot and Thrive story, starting a farm in Vermont during the pandemic, and the work that she and her husband are doing and their chef farmer practice and creating a farm to table scene in their farm in Hubbardton. So I'm really looking forward to many opportunities to connect with our community and help share the stories, talents, and opportunities that we have to work together and grow small business across Vermont. And thank you so much for sharing the time. It's a privilege to spend it with you. And thank you, Jen, for sharing your great work with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Karen. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.